Hi tribe, it's time to officially close the 2024 1 billion emergency fund challenge. So many of you have achieved the goal we set at the beginning of this year, which was to become emergency fund millionaires by investing 83,333 shillings in the Sanlam Money Market Fund. For me, it's been such a beautiful and busy year trying to keep all of you accountable. And so many of you, I would estimate more than 10,000, expressed interest to join the challenge throughout the year. Throughout the year, you had the opportunity to jump on the challenge. And so you expressed interest to join the challenge through my various social media channels, my Instagram, my TikTok, here on YouTube. And so out of the more than 10,000 of you expressed interest to join the challenge, 2,461 shared their emails via DMs or via my email to join the challenge. And so I emailed all of you. Yes, I got in touch with all of you and sent you the instructions that you need in order for you to join the challenge. And at the same time, I added you to my accountability list, as you can see here. And so throughout the year, twice a month, I have been sending you accountability emails to remind you, to keep you accountable, to cheer you on, to keep you motivated, so that at the end of it all, you're able to successfully get to the end of this challenge. And that's why I'm here to report that a lot of you actually achieved the goal. Out of that 2,461, 1,231 took the time to apply for a Sanlam Money Market Fund and to commit to the journey. So you see, there are those of you who are in my emails and in my DMs, shared your email, said you are so motivated to join the challenge, but you didn't do the action, right? You didn't do what it needed in order for you to join the challenge. So only 1,231 of you actually applied for a Sanlam Money Market Fund account and joined the challenge. And throughout the year, based on the feedback that you've been sharing with me, I have counted so far 103 of you. I'm still counting because some of you are still sending me your feedback. Some of you are still sending me screenshots of what you've been able to achieve. But so far, I have counted 103 of you who have been able to achieve the goal. So yes, in 2024, I actually managed to motivate 103 specifically of you to become emergency fund millionaires. First of all, I am very proud of myself because it's a lot of work to manage such a long email list and to keep motivating you guys. But at the same time, I am mega proud of the 103 of you who actually did it. You know, you committed to a journey, you consistently deposited money in that money market fund account, you kept sharing me with your feedback, and yes, you're now officially emergency fund millionaire. So at this point, I would like to I'm super proud of you. I believe that those of us, because I am part of the 103 people who actually achieved the goal, because there was no way I was going to take you through a 1-year emergency fund challenge without participating in it. So out of those of 103 of us who achieved this goal, we did it through discipline, through consistency, and of course through sacrifice. You know, once in a while you had to sacrifice a few luxuries, right, in order for you to be able to stick to this goal and get to the very end. And of course, now that we have 1 million shillings seated in our Sanlam Money Market Fund account as our emergency fund, it means that yes, we have officially achieved a level of financial security, because having an emergency fund is very important. If you are tap broke in your house, if you got a traffic fine, if you got a short illness, like, you can solve the financial emergencies in your life, right? So yes, in a way, in a big way actually, we have achieved a level of financial security. And you know, on this channel, I like to work with evidence, and so I'm going to share videos or rather screenshots on this screen as I'm talking to actually show you that it is indeed true. Well, Tribers achieved this goal in that they've sent me, by sending me, you know, all of you, a lot of you have sent me the screenshots of your current balance of your Sanlam Money Market Fund. And so that is very beautiful. We actually became millionaires. Like, we started this thing because in January 2024, I was like, what can I do, you know, this year? What different thing can I do this year to make sure that Wealth Tribers become wealthier, you know, get a step closer to achieving the goal that we all want, which is financial freedom. And yes, we did it together. And at the same time, I have to say that thank you for trusting me with your financial freedom journey. And of course, beyond that, I'm also very proud of you of those of you who joined the challenge and did the best with the resources that they had. So I'm saying there are two categories of people. I don't like this categorization, but yeah, in order for us to be clear, there are two categories of people. There are those of you or those of us who joined the challenge and actually achieved the 1 million shillings, and there are those of you who joined the challenge and did the best they could, and it is okay, especially because I had some people who sent me an email or a DM and told me, hey Agatha, I would like to join the 1 million emergency fund challenge, but I know based on my my level of income or based on my responsibilities, I cannot manage to get to the 1 million by the end of the year, but I am setting my own challenge. I am setting my own goal, which some people it was 200,000, 400,000, 500,000, some people it was 800,000. And the most interesting thing is that most of you who set goals were actually underestimating yourself, underestimating your abilities, and you are able to surpass that goal. Or maybe it's because it happens that the minute you start investing and you start experiencing the power of compounding, and you realize how much interest you're making out of this, and then you get motivated to do more than you wanted to do, and so that's how most of you are able to surpass that goal. And so yes, I am also very, very proud of those of you who joined and did what they could with the resources that they had, because at the end of the day, that is actually what you need to do in this life in order for you to go ahead. Like, work with what you have, start where you are with what you have, and keep going. And I do remember at the beginning of this year, in fact throughout the year, because when we started this challenge and I said that we are going to be investing 83,333 shillings per month, of course I had people in my inbox, in my comment section, telling me not everybody can afford to take up this challenge, not everybody can afford to put aside 83,333 shillings per month. And of course I said, yes, I know and I understand, and I said that I was not going to leave anyone behind who could not afford to put aside that much. And so what I said, join the challenge with whichever amount that you have, and that is what a lot of you did. And I also remember throughout the year saying it's better it's better to end 2024 with 200,000 in your money market fund than to end with zero. And a lot of you have realized how important that was, because now what has happened is, if you've ended the year with 200,000, with 300,000, with 500,000, and I'll show you, by the way, like, I have so many DMs. I have an overwhelming number of DMs on my Instagram of people sharing their feedback of what they managed to do at the end of the year. So I will share, all these screenshots of what you guys have managed to do. And so the thing is, whichever amount you have managed to do, what you've just done is that you've set yourself up to achieve the 1 million in 2025, because that's exactly what I said. It's better to end the year with 200k than to end at zero, because what will happen is that you will have already set the momentum, the discipline, and the consistency you need to start from 200k in January 2025, as opposed to starting from zero. You set yourself up for success in 2025. And of course, due to popular demand, right? Due to popular demand, a lot of you Wealth Tribers have requested that we repeat this challenge in 2025. The challenge starts on 7th January, and at the end of this video I will give all the details, all the information, or rather all the instructions that you need in order for you to jump on the challenge. But yes, we are repeating this challenge in 2025. And so as always, anytime I do these videos where I give an update on where we are with the challenge, I always want to get practical. I always want to get practical, where I show you statements of Wealth Tribers. And so today we are going to see evidence from two people. One young man, a 24-year-old. Like, for me, this was so impressive. A 24-year-old, and then another lady who lives in Australia, Kenyan, living in diaspora, who also achieved this goal within 6 months because she joined the challenge in July. And so yes, let's get started. I will start by reading his feedback. Hi Agatha, I hope this email finds you well. It has indeed been a busy year full of blessings. When I had the one-on-one session with you, it inspired me to kickstart my investment journey. I started my Sanlam emergency fund investment in late Feb, and I'm currently at around 730,000. I will be receiving some money this week, that will lock me in on the 1 million, because that was my goal for this year. I also graduated with my MSc in structural engineering from the United Kingdom this year at just 24 years old. Whoa, so this is also a Kenyan living in diaspora. So if you're a Kenyan, well, tribal or Kenyan living in diaspora, and if you're wondering if you can join the challenge, yes, you can set up a money market fund account from anywhere in the world. It's an online process. All you need is the kawaida documents, your ID or your passport copy, your KRA pin, a copy, you know, a proof of banking, and a passport photo. Anywhere in the world, and it takes less than 10 minutes to set up your account. And so, Agatha, I'm a big believer that if anyone sets goals with discipline and consistency, they can achieve their desired dream life. And you have been part of my financial success with your advice. May God bless you. Oh my God, thank you. This really melted my heart. My 2025 goal is to have 120,000 on VUCA investment and start a dollar fund, since it's one of the trusted stable currencies. This will help strengthen my portfolio. I am open to receiving any advice for 2025. Thank you, Agatha. Regards. First of all, a 24-year-old. So let's go through this young man's statement to see how he achieved his 1 million within 1 year. So I always start by showing you how to read your money market fund statement, because that is a frequently asked question. So the first part of this statement is the transaction date. So when the transaction happened, the description of the transaction, the deposit, how much money the investor deposited. The interest is how much interest you earned that month, because you earn interest from a money market fund. You earn interest every day, and then it is deposited in that interest is deposited in your money market fund account at the end of every month. And then there's the withdrawal. If any withdrawal happened within that year, it's going to be shown under this tab. And then there's the withholding tax. So all money market funds in Kenya charge a 15% withholding tax. That is standard for all of them, so it's not special to Sanlam. And then there's the running balance, which is, you know, what is the current balance after whichever transaction. And so, as this young man said, I had a one-on-one session with him at the beginning of the year, and so he joined the 1 million emergency fund challenge in Feb 2024. And so on 8th Feb, he set up his money market fund account, and he deposited the minimum amount required in order for you to set up a Sanlam money market fund account, which is the 2,500. And so he committed to getting to the 1 million. So as you can see, in Feb he made additional deposits, 2 additional deposits of 50,000 and 55,000. And then so at the end of that month he earned 384.55 in interest, and 15% of that, which is 57.68, was deducted as withholding tax. And so at the end of Feb he had 107,826.87. And then in March, as you can see, in March he made 4 deposits, and now so 1, 2, 3, 4. It's very important for me to show you this, because this is another frequently asked question. For my money market fund account, can I make multiple deposits? Can I make deposits every month? Or even when I joined this challenge, a lot of you ask me, when I joined this challenge, can I make multiple deposits? Maybe for you, you're an entrepreneur or a small business owner, and even maybe you make money every day. So for example, I have someone who was taking part of this challenge. He sells shoes, right? And so he makes money every day. So he asked me, if I join this challenge, can I deposit money every day into my money market fund account? Can I deposit at the end of the week? Can I deposit twice weekly? So the answer is a resounding yes. A money market fund is a self-paced investment, which means you can withdraw anytime and deposit anytime. So that being said, he made 4 deposits in March, and so at the end of March, as you can see, on 31st March, interest was deposited as always, which is done at the end of the month. And so this month, because he had more money, he earned 1,735.29 in interest. 260.29, which is 15%, was automatically deducted to go towards withholding tax. And so at the end of March, he had 221 1,801.86 in his money market fund account. And so he continued depositing. In April he made 2 deposits. His interest keeps growing because he keeps making more deposits, and compounding starts kicking in. And if you're new here, compounding is when your interest earns interest. So if you start a money market fund account and deposit 50,000, and let's say at the end of that month you earn, like 384 shillings like he earned in the first month. So in the second month, that interest will also be used. Your interest plus your principal amount will also be used to calculate your interest for the second month. I have a whole guide here on my YouTube channel, which I will link, about how compounding interest works, and so you can always watch it. And so that was March, or that was April, and then in April he made 3,182.39 in interest. It keeps growing, as I've said. And then in May he made 1 deposit. I don't have to go through all the figures so that this video is not too long, but you get the point. And so in May he made 1 deposit. In June he made 1 small deposit of 8,000, and I'm calling it small in relation to how much he's been depositing. His interest kept growing, because now in May it was 3,829, and by June it was 3,830. And then in July he withdrew. And so this is 135,000, which is okay, right? I'm glad that this young man made a total of 4 withdrawals from his money market fund throughout the year, and he still achieved the goal of getting to the 1 million at the end of the year. And so so in July he made his first withdrawal, and so that is why his interest went down. It went down to 8,844. And in August again he made 2 withdrawals, and I would like you to note something here. So on August 12th, on 12th August he made 1 withdrawal of 160,000, and on August 28th he made another withdrawal of 20,000. And so what happens when it comes to the Sanlam Money Market Fund? You have 1 free withdrawal per month. So his first withdrawal of 160,000, it was free withdrawal. Free to mean that Sanlam is not going to charge you any money for you to withdraw money from that account. But then because he made a second withdrawal within the same month, he was charged 500 shillings, right? So you have 1 free withdrawal per month, and then every subsequent withdrawal within the same month is charged 500 bob. And so that is why I usually encourage you guys that when you set up a money market fund account, please remember that a money market fund account is not a current account, or it's not like M-Pesa, so you can't keep withdrawing from that account, because the fees are going to be so much. If for example he withdrew like 4 times within the same month, then he will be charged 1,500 for the other subsequent withdrawals. So make sure that you're not withdrawing so much that the amount of money you're paying in fees is higher than the amount of money you're earning in interest. And so in August, either way, he earned interest, though smaller, or rather less than what he'd been earning, because he made big withdrawals. So he made 1,276.62. In September he started recovering, and he made 1 deposit. In September he started recovering, and he made 1 deposit. But there, as you can see, by August, because he made such a huge withdrawal of 160,000, it meant that by the end of August he only had 25,000 in his account. And I think maybe by the time August hit, he realized that, oops, if I only have 25,000 in my account, and I have to get to the goal that I had set of 1 million by the end of 2024, I need to stop withdrawing and keep making bigger and multiple deposits in order for me to get there. So that's why because he only had 25,000 in his account, he earned 130 shillings in interest. And so from October he started heavily recovering. So in October he made 3 huge deposits, and that's how by the end of October he had close to 500,000, and so that's how he was able to go back to earning 2,612.90 in interest. In November again he made huge deposits, and that's why at the end of November he was able to make 6,698.28 in interest. 1,004.74 was deducted to go towards withholding tax. And in December he made, based on his feedback, the email that I just read, again, he made sure that to make big deposits because he got some money he was waiting from a project. And you know, as you can see on deck 20th, he made a deposit of 250,000. And so at the end of it all, the running balance on this end, as you can see, I'm recording this video on the 31st of December 2024, the last day, New Year's Eve. And so as you can see, his account balance, even down here, you can see his account balance is 1,010,746.72. So yay, this 24-year-old was able to achieve the goal he had set at the beginning of the year. And so far he has uncredited interest of 6,607.60. Of course, he's going to make much more than that in interest. Yes, much more than that in interest by the time this month is done, because he made, you know, a huge deposit on deck 20th. So yeah, so congratulations to this young man. This is super impressive, especially because he's 24. The other person I wanted to highlight in this video is a lady. She's a Kenyan living in Australia, and this is the email she sent me on 24th December, Christmas Eve. Good morning, Agatha. I'm writing to you just to say thank you. Meeting you was the best thing that happened to me. I have always had money but never had savings by the end of the year. I started my 1 million emergency fund challenge in July, and I'm glad to say I made it. I was saving twice the amount, and here we are. 2025 will be bigger and better. I have encouraged a number of people to join in 2025. Thank you. You know, I really appreciate referrals. I appreciate it when you guys share my videos. I encourage as many of you to join the emergency fund challenge, because this life is easier and better, and we go further when we do it together. So encourage your parents, encourage your siblings, encourage your spouse, because a lot of people did this challenge with their spouse. Yeah, so encourage your spouse, encourage your neighbors, encourage your chama members. Encourage your chama members to join this challenge. And anyone you love and anyone you'd like to see succeed, encourage them to join this challenge. My best part was the commitment. I have always felt like I owed someone, and I had to pay the debt before end month. Can't wait to book a session with you. Merry Christmas, darling. May 2025 be filled with more blessings. Barakatele. And so as you can see, her screenshot of her money market fund account is that by the time she was writing to me, she had 1,039,983.18. It made me so happy. Like in 6 months, she was like, let's do it. Let's get it done by depositing double the amount that it requires. And so now let's go and look at her statement and see how she did it. And now that you know how to read these statements, let's get right into it. So we start in June. So she joined the challenge on June 14th, 2024, helped her set up the money market fund account. As always, I always encourage people, you can do more, you can deposit more, but the minimum amount required to join the Sanlam money market fund account is 2,500. So she did it, and yeah, she was able to set up her account. By the end of that month, she had not made any other deposit, but still her 2,500 and her 15 shillings in interest, which is nice. Yeah. And so 2.32 shillings was deducted to go towards withholding tax. And in July, she decided this needs to be done. The 1 million shillings needs to be achieved. And so in July, she made 2 deposits, one for 5,000 and another one for 84,000. At the end of that month, she earned 240 shillings in interest. 36.06 was deducted to go toward withholding tax. In August, she made another big deposit of 167,000. And so by the end of that month, she earned 1,192.01 in interest, and 178 shillings was deducted to go towards withholding tax. In September, she deposited a clean 200k, and that's how she was able to make 3,000 shillings in interest, and 450 shillings was deducted to go towards withholding tax. And in October, she made another 200k in deposit, and she made 5,479.24 in interest, and 821 shillings was deducted to go towards withholding tax. Again in November, she deposited 200,000, and by the end of November, she earned 7,504.63 in interest. As I hope you can see that she started with 15 passively she made a passive income from this money market fund of 15.48 shillings in June, but by the end of November she made 7,504. That's tremendous growth, 0.63. And always I tell people people on this channel that if you think this is little money, then you're not ready for this journey, because it takes when you start your compounding journey, you start by earning very little, quote unquote very little, but then with time your amount of money compounds and it becomes such a big amount of money. And so finally on December 23rd, and that's why she was able to email me on December 24th, she made sure that she made a deposit of 166,000. She was very specific with the amount of money she needed to deposit so that she gets to the 1 million. So she made that deposit, and that is how she was able to have a running balance of 1,039,983.18, which is beautiful. And so yeah, in total throughout the whole year she's made interest of 17,431.98. so you see, sometimes it can seem like one is making very little money because you're looking at it just every month, but if you add it up, it actually adds up to quite a good amount. And this is going to be it's going to be more in 2025, because now her compounding journey in 2025 is going to start from 1 million. And so yeah, she has uncredited interest at the moment of 7,740. So this uncredited interest is how much interest has she been earning daily throughout December, but this is not the full amount because the team has not consolidated the statements. But yeah, the total amount in uncredited interest as of now is 7,740.10, and I'm sure she will earn much more. Yes, I'm sure she'll earn much more by the time she receives her December statement. And the other thing that I wanted to insist here is, those people who say that interest is too little. The most beautiful thing is that all of you actually who took part in this challenge, but specifically those of you who actually achieved the 1 million, you see that interest that you were adding in 2024, it's going to be more in 2025, because now your 2025 compounding is starting from 1 million plus. Right? Remember when you started the challenge, let's say you started with 2,500 shillings, and so like that lady, she earned 15 shillings. But now I want you to realize that your compounding journey in 2025 will start with 1 million plus. So you're going to be making much more, at least 10,000 per month for the first quarter. By quarter 2, you're making over 15,000 in interest per month. By quarter 3, you're making close to 20,000 per month from just that 1 million. By quarter 4, you're making more than that, because a lot of you are still going to be depositing in your accounts, and so you're going to unlock a level of financial security that you've probably never experienced before. I tell people, I have a client who has a lot of money, right? Over 10 million in her money market fund account, and in November last year, she made 197,000, like 197,000 in interest alone. We're not talking about her account balance. 197,000 in interest. And so it starts like that. It starts small, and with time you build up to making a lot of passive income, and that is very beautiful, because that is what I want. That is one of the things I would like for you to focus on in 2024. It is converting your active income, and your active income, for example, is like the amount of money you earn from your 9-to-5 job. And so your employer has figured out that, and it doesn't matter how much money you make, but most of us, our employers, have figured out that this is how much you're worth per hour. Even if you're a high income earner, your employer, if you ask them, they have figured out that this is your value per hour. And so yes, you clock in, you work X number of hours. At the end of the month, your employer does the math and gives you a paycheck, right? You can work backwards too for you to understand how much money you earn per hour. And so that is active income. Like, you have to show up in order for you to make that amount of money. And this means that your inputs are very, very closely tied to your outputs. The number of hours you work equals the amount of money you're able to make. And so that is active income. And so I'm encouraging you in 2025 to focus a lot on building your passive income streams, to mean that you divorce or you separate your outputs, or rather your inputs from your outputs. Let there be a very, very big gap, to mean that if you want to make 200k per month, let it be that a lot of that money is coming from passive income, because that's exactly what it means to achieve financial freedom. And so yes, so As you can see, it's been a beautiful 2024 for me. When I began this challenge at the beginning of this year, I didn't have all the answers, like this is how we are going to do it. You know, I only knew that we need to get to 1 million and we need to deposit 83,333 shillings per year. I didn't know how overwhelming it would be to create these videos consistently, to keep you guys accountable, how much feedback I'd have to receive, and how many screenshots, and how much sifting through your feedback I had to do, but I did it anyway, and I'm very happy about it and proud of myself. And so now that we've come to the end of the 2024 challenge, of course a lot of you asked me, let's do this again. And so there are two categories of people. There are people who didn't join the 2024 challenge and they want to be part of the 2025 challenge, so many of you. And so in as much as I hadn't planned to repeat this challenge in 2025, it's a situation of give the people what they want, so we have to do this challenge in 2025. Category number 2 is people who were part of the 2024 challenge and they would still want to be part of the 2025 challenge. In fact, I encourage you to be part of the 2025 challenge. So what's going to happen is those of you who didn't achieve the 1 million, keep going, right? So keep going in 2025 so that you achieve the 1 million. If you achieved the 1 million in 2024, you can still join the challenge to save up for another goal, right? So let's say if that was your emergency fund, you have other financial goals, right? So maybe you want to start a different money market fund that you label your investment fund, for example, where you save money towards buying infrastructure bonds, or maybe you'd like to buy a car, right? That's a goal. Maybe you'd like to save towards your insurance needs. Maybe you'd like to build a home for your parents. And so yes, you can join. What I'm saying here is that you can join the 2025 challenge and save up for a different goal, or save or invest for a different goal. So how are we doing the 2025 challenge? The 2025 challenge, the 2025 1 million emergency fund challenge is bigger and better. To join the 2025 1 million emergency fund challenge, you need 3 things. The first one is a money market fund account, because of course that is where we are going to be saving that money. That's why we are going to be investing the 1 million gradually every month. And so I will help you set up a money market fund account for free, as always. And so as I said earlier, this year we have 2 options. You have the option of using the Sanlam money market fund account, or you have the option of using the CIC money market fund account. By now you have a lot of information about the Sanlam Money Market Fund account, but you may not have a lot of information about the CIC Money Market Fund account. But I'm going to upload a new video here on my YouTube channel to give you more information about facts about the CIC Money Market Fund. But for now, all I want you to know is that you have the option to either use the CIC Money Market Fund or the Sanlam Money Market Fund. And so I will leave links in the description box, and I will specifically label them. If you want to set up the Sanlam Money Market Fund account, use this link. If you want to set up the CIC Money Market Fund account, if you'd rather use CIC Money Market Fund, use this link. So in the description box, that is where the links for submitting your application for the Money Market Fund account are. Please specifically use the links in the description box, because if you do not use the links in my description box, then you're not going to be added in my accountability list. I can't automatically add you in my accountability list because I'll not have captured your details, because that's a mistake that a lot of you are making. And then, so as I said, if you are part of the 2024 challenge, you are allowed to join the 2025 challenge and save up for a different goal. Let's do this. Instruction number 2 for how to join the challenge: decide how much you'll invest per month. Remember, the big goal, or the guiding light, is that at the end of 2025, again, we want to have achieved the 1 million. So the goal again is to deposit 83,333 shillings in either our Sanlam Money Market Fund or our CIC Money Market Fund. But I always say any amount from 1,000 is acceptable, because I fully understand that not all of us can afford to put aside 83,333 shillings. And so yet again, it is better to end 2025 with 500k in your money market fund account as opposed to ending with 0. So any amount is acceptable, but the big goal is 83,333 shillings per month. Finally, you do need an accountability system. The only way that most of you are able to achieve this goal is I kept you motivated, I kept you accountable. I kept sending you emails twice a month to ask you, hi, I am in your inbox to keep you accountable. How are you doing? So you need an accountability system to make sure that you smash that goal. And so when I help you, when you use my links that are in the description box, specifically those links to submit your application for either a Sanlam or CIC Money Market Fund account, I will be able to see your details on my end, and I will be able to add you to my accountability list. And that way I'll send you reminders every 2 weeks or twice a month to help you stay committed to the millionaire life. And so I want more millionaires in 2025. And so with that, thank you as always. Thank you so much. Happy new year. Happy 25. May I know it's going to be a happy year because we're going to do this again and we're going to be financially secure. And so with that, my name, if you're new here, my name is Agatha from the Wealth Tribe, and this is where we learn how to build wealth. You know it, together. Bye bye.